Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm recording this on Monday. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. I just finished up with the live with Adam. You might want to check that out if you haven't already. We go into the energy of September's new moon, full moon, how that affects 45, his astrology, and also Tim Waltz's. So it's really interesting stuff. You might want to check it out. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share. If you do want a personal reading with me, I have a few openings for the rest of the year, not a lot. DianeAquarius.com. And check out membership. I did just put out the Dragon course. That's for Awaken Your Mind and Above levels. There's 6 classes in there. One on how to make a dragon grid, a dragon portal, how to meet your personal dragon. Lots of really good information. And tonight, which will actually already have happened by the time you see this, I will have channeled the Ra Collective and Archangel Cassiel. So I wanted to show you something before we get into the tarot reading and psychic prediction part of this, is that I've partnered up with someone called Otter Spirit. And if you can see my bracelet, it's selenite. And for all of you that do any sort of psychic or healing work, you know how important selenite is because it cleanses and protects you, your space. And what I like about this company, because I get asked by a lot of companies to partner up with them, but this company actually aligns with my values. A percentage, actually $1 from each bracelet sale does go to Sea Otters, which I love, but the quality is outstanding. They're authentic AAA grade gemstones. So I love that. And the fact that they give back is wonderful. It comes really nicely packaged. You'll see. And then it comes with a card. So like this one's Orange Aventurine. I embrace joy and limitless possibilities. The intention is prosperity. Zodiac signs, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, chakras, sacral. Then it has a care guide. And so here's what the Orange Aventurine looks like. And I also got a lapis lazuli because for those of you that know about me channeling the Ra Collective, I have a tendency to hold something that's lapis lazuli because that helps me to connect with them. And here's what the lapis lazuli looks like. And every month they come out, on the first of each month, they come out with a new collection. You know, like just handpicked seasonal favorites for you. And I really thought it was, you know, each one was like just done up beautifully. And the shipping was actually super fast. I was impressed. I didn't think it'd be as fast as it was, but the discount will be in the description box underneath, same as for the link for membership and for a reading. So let's get into the reading, everyone. And I do want to show you, I do have a new, and this is brand new, you probably haven't seen this yet, for the new 3-card pick. Intuitive Whispers Oracle by Maud Hurst. We're going to be using that at the end of the video. So lots of breaking news to come. And I know a lot of the videos that a lot of us are doing are kind of focused on the election right now. But don't forget, there is a lot going on with Israel and Palestine, Hamas, and also Ukraine and Russia. And so I really wanted to focus on that. So my sense has not changed with either situation. So if you remember, I made my predictions video back in January of the beginning of the year. And, you know, I said Netanyahu is going. And now I think we are approaching that time. Because like I always say, I don't care what country we're talking about. I don't care what war it is, what the issue is. People are moving towards fourth density. They're moving towards love and light. They do not want to be engaged in acts of war. And Netanyahu is trying to be a bit, I don't know, I think he's being a bit scary, and I think Putin is also being a bit scary because, you know, Putin is trying to take more liberties with nuclear warfare. And so, but like I've said before too, I do not see us getting into a third world war. I do not see it happening. So also too, I will say, like I said in that video back in January, Putin's time is limited also. But I do think Netanyahu is going sooner than later. I think his, you know, people, his military, and just regular people. I think they're done with the situation. And, you know, first of all, obviously my condolences to the 6 hostages that lost their life. One was an American. And so I thought we would just take a look at Netanyahu and what he has coming up for him soon. So I'm placing my intentions, and I just feel guided to place them within the next 6 weeks. Okay, that's where I feel guided to say next 6 weeks for Netanyahu. The Hierophant. So for those of you that aren't familiar, my first card is the Significator. My second card is Obstacles and Challenges. Sun card is his obstacle, and subsequent cards are the outcome cards. Page of Swords, 3 of Wands, 2 of Swords, bottom of the deck, 3 of Swords. Okay, so when we look at this, I think this is very much how Netanyahu has felt. Like, you know, not just is he a political leader, he's a spiritual leader. You know, people do kind of like bow down to him. I do think, you know, probably not so good things happened, you know, between him and 45 with their meeting. You know, I know during the live with Adam, somebody had asked, like, is 45 going to be held accountable? You know, if there was actual interference. You know, I think 45 has so much going on, so many lawsuits. I think his time is just numbered. Should he be held accountable? Absolutely. Should he be held accountable for what he did at Arlington Cemetery? Absolutely. But there's so many lawsuits, and everybody's like taking a number, right, at this point. And, you know, to me, his energy just keeps waning and fading. And I still am going to say, when it comes to 45, that I've been saying this for months now, there is something about September that takes the wind out of his sails, and he's no longer like feeling robust and excited and enthused. Something happens. And so that could be the debate going really badly. It could be him getting sentenced on the 18th. The full moon, which is going to have a lot of energy, is just the day before. That energy will be carrying through into, you know, the day that he's supposed to be sentenced. So Netanyahu's obstacle, the sun, you know, like that's about new beginnings. And what's interesting too is because we're talking about Ukraine, right? Whenever we talk about Ukraine, we always see sunflowers. So it's almost like a little nod from spirit, like, Diane, don't forget to talk about Ukraine. But, you know, this is about enlightenment, things coming to the surface, us finding things out, new beginnings. The white horse stands for purity, freshness, new things. And so that's all in his obstacle position. So that newness, the sun coming out, and the information that's going to be coming out isn't going to be in his favor, okay? And I always say, when it comes to these things, you know, I always feel bad for the general people, you know what I mean? Because I don't think your average Israeli wants any of this. And so he's going to try, Page of Swords, to go on a new adventure, to be like him, to strike it out on his own, you know, try to like move forward with everything. He's going to try to progress, fight back. But then something happens. His back is turned, he's going. There's only 3 cards in, you know, out of the 78 where the character's back is actually turned and they're leaving. And so I think he's going sooner than later. The decision will be made. 2 of Swords. People are taking their blindfolds off. You know, that sun energy is coming out. The decision will be made. And at whatever capacity, because as you know, I do not do death predictions, but at whatever capacity he is brokenhearted, he may even feel like he's been stabbed in the back. Lots of grief, lots of sorrow surrounding him. So I honestly, guys, don't see him there. And I do see there's being some kind of peace brokered. So let's look at that. So making peace with Hamas. I mean, they're terrorists. They're awful. There's nothing good to be said about a terrorist group, even though I do understand how deeply complex the issues are in the Middle East. But I'll never confess to saying that I fully understand all those complexities, because they are complex. Their feelings towards each other and wanting war against each other is older than our country has been known as the United States. So let's see, making some sort of deal with Hamas to get them to back off, to get them to release any further prisoners that they may have, because I feel like they do. I feel like they do have more prisoners. I don't think those 6 were it. I think there's more hostages. Okay. So I like that we start off with the Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands is about change. And not just is it about change, but it's about change that comes quickly. So remember, we're looking at the next few weeks. The obstacle, they don't play well with others. 3 of Pentacles, right? Three of Pentacles is about, talking to others, community, working with others to make a deal, because, this character is trying to make a deal with these people to sell his wares. And so, right, they're a terrorist group. I mean, that's kind of what terrorist groups are known for, right? But here they are pulling back. So 4 of Swords, the card of withdrawal, retreat, and it could even be because of some self-reflection, some introspection. Maybe they're starting to realize, look, we have to have some sort of an end game here, right? We can't just continue this forever. They're going to try to get away with whatever they can get away with. So this tells me some of them, 7 of Swords, will slip away. So I know some of you are going to be wondering, are they all going to be held accountable? This is saying, no, some of them are actually going to be like thieves in the night and slip away. How this comes about is not yet determined. And also too, is it really surprising, 7 of Cups, that the card of ungroundedness, things being up in the air, is surrounding this, right? I mean, they're not the most grounded people. Like I said, they really haven't thought any of this through to the end game. And then 8 of Wands, which really corresponds nicely with the Knight of Wands. 2 cards that talk about change and speed, okay? And this ushers in new opportunities. And I think this is where we start to get the peace coming back to that region, which is so, so needed. So I do believe for the holiday season, we will see a major shift and change in the Middle East, and it will usher in peace. So if you've been following what's been going on with Ukraine and Russia, really intense fighting. Ukraine has made some great advancements, actually making it deep into the heart of Russia, sending drone bombs into Moscow. And, of course, Russia's retaliating, they hit Kyiv. So let's just take a look at Putin, because I feel like he'll be around a little bit longer than Netanyahu, but maybe not by much. Maybe not by much. Like I said, I mean, and I said this back in January, we're going to see a major shift away from leaders that are like dictators. We're shifting away from that old energy, going into a time of Aquarius, right? But also our heart chakra is a time of love and compassion. Okay. So interesting that we start off with the 2 of Cups when I look at Putin. You know what this is making me think, guys, is, and I really do feel like guided to say this, he has been trying to work something out with 45. I really do think he wants him to be elected again. I really do. I think he wants him back in office. I think he's desperate. This also makes me feel like he's going to try to use whatever power and sneaky tactics Russia has to put 45 back into power. It's not going to work, but desperate people do desperate things. Queen of Swords. So this is somebody coming in who's very logical, ethical, moral, fair and balanced, good with the spoken word, sees both sides of the issue, can be, someone that can really help orchestrate some peace here between the two countries, but it's coming up in the obstacle position. And I think that's because Putin doesn't want that. He doesn't want anything to be fair and balanced, does he? He wants what he wants when he wants it. Oh, interesting, 3 of Wands. And like I said before, with Netanyahu, there's only 3 cards in the traditional tarot deck out of 78 where the character's back is turned and they're going. Interesting. And boy, is he stressed. 9 of Swords. He is stressed. He's worried. He's anxious. He's having sleepless nights. Life is just miserable. He's going to try to make whatever. I'm going to look at the bottom. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so Page of Cups, and the bottom of the deck is the Death card. So he will try to make whatever relationships he can, but it's going to fail. And like I said, I don't do death predictions, but I see him going. Whatever capacity that is, okay? He's going sooner than later. So I think, even though it has dragged out, but both situations have dragged out for too long. And there's too many innocent people that's getting hurt. But I do think that things are coming to a head and we're going to see an end to all of this. Let's take a look at Ukraine, though. Let's take a look at, see how Ukraine is going to do in the next few weeks. And then we'll do a 3-card pull. The Hermit. So I'm going to pull the cards just so I can see them all. The Hermit represents them. Obstacle, Ace of Wands, outcome cards. Ooh, nice. Ace of Swords, Chariot, 2 of Wands, 7 of Wands. Okay, so when we look at this, right now, Ukraine is building intelligence and knowledge. They're learning something. They're educating themselves. They're figuring out what they can do. They're coming up with a good plan, a good strategy on how to push forward. And I say push forward because they quite literally get the Chariot. How to push forward and, bring this to an end. Their obstacle, though, is that it's tough, right? The Ace of Wands, aces are always about new beginnings. This is about a fertile new beginning. You look at the wand, it's not dead. The leaves are growing off of it. So they're having a difficult time, but they persevere. That is one thing about Ukraine. You can't underestimate them. They are absolutely persevering. And they get this new beginning, Ace of Swords, one where truth and justice prevails. And they are able to move forward victoriously, triumphantly, with intention, the Chariot. And it will be because they did get support of the world. 2 of Wands, they are literally, this character is literally holding the earth in his hands. They, because they did get the support that they needed, they can now make new plans. And they do persevere. 7 of Wands, this character, with or without support, he's able to stand on his own 2 feet here and really show what he's made of. And I like that they got 7 because, 7s in numerology is not just about being like, say, a critical thinker and analytical, but there's also a divine aspect to it that like they're being divinely protected. And so once again, I do think that this issue is going to come to an end before we know it, even though it's gone on way too long. So Intuitive Whispers Oracle, let's totally shift gears. End on a good note. Inside the box, it says, you are wiser and more brilliant than you know. Be still, take a breath, and listen. Your intuitive whispers are guiding you. So I'm just going to give these a shuffle. Take a nice deep breath and just ask what the universe, what spirit wants you to know today. And I'm just going to take the top 3 cards. Okay. And let's see which one calls to you. 1, 2, or 3. All right, so interesting that we get, for the first one, community calls, because we're going into the fall season. You know, the geese get together, they fly in that V formation. And so this is the time to interact with those around you, to not self-isolate, to do volunteer work in your community, to be with your friends and family, that there is like a higher purpose, you know, to you being here, and it has to do with mankind. And I will take a peek at the book, because I know some of you have asked me to do that with some of these that have like the bigger meanings. And so the book says, there is a new community waiting for you, and perhaps you have not found it yet. Are your current communities of friends, family, colleagues feeding your soul with enough nourishment? There might be room to invite in another tribe. Open your eyes and look around for a community that feels fully aligned and who you are in this moment of your life. You're evolving, and as you evolve, your community should grow too. So interesting, because a lot of times people ask me in their readings, how do I find my tribe? Okay, so that's you guys. Explore fullness. Explore fullness. Beautiful picture. Right away, it makes me think of crown chakra with all that purple. What does fullness represent to you? So often in life, we are taught to thrive on emptiness, whether that is being celebrated for being slim or being part of our consumerist society that needs us to feel empty, so that we keep craving more to feel satisfied. Let's rebel and explore the glory of fullness. It will allow you to soak up the entirety of each moment, the fullness of every emotion, and the feeling of being totally satisfied with every meal. And it goes on, but that gives you an idea for that. And then 3, tap into your sacral power. So your sacral chakra is below your belly button, and that's like your love for life, your creativity, your productivity, your enthusiasm, your passion. It's a beautiful card, and I'll just read you the first paragraph for that. It's time to get powerful. Your sacral energy center is calling to be activated so it can support you in this next part of your journey. This is your sexual energy. It lies deep in the lower belly below your belly button and is often forgot about or confused. This energy is not simply related to sexuality or attracting a partner. It's your creation energy that can be used internally as fuel and power. If used correctly, it will become your greatest support. It's time to explore the sacral center so you can use the full power of your intuition. So I hope that was helpful, everybody. And I will have a brand new pick a pile coming out. And that one will be about what does, whomever it is you're thinking of, what are they thinking about you? You know, so whether it's maybe romantic or if it's somebody in the workplace, a family member, what are they thinking about you? So if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and don't forget to check out Otter Spirit. They're a fantastic bracelet company. All right, bye everybody.